Hey guys, what's up? V8 Merc here, and today we're going to be going over the 1000 round range report on my AR15 rifle chambered in 7.62 by 39. So I know a lot of people have been asking me how has this rifle held up over the past couple years, and how many rounds have I got through it. So that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to tell you about all the things that have changed, any experiences that I had that were negative, like any issues. So we'll go over all that stuff, but first what we're going to do is make sure it's empty, and let's go ahead and remove the magazine. Of course, some of you guys remember I live in California, so I have that bullet button. Alright, the magazine was empty, and rifle is clear. We are good to go, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's go ahead and just start from the back and work our way forward here. We've got the standard A2 buttstock, the one that I got with it. I'm considering changing it out to a collapsible Magpul C.A.R. stock, just so that I can shorten up the length of it if I want to carry it to go hunting, because that's kind of my plans for this rifle, is to go hunting with it and make it easier to transport and put in a case and whatnot. So, but you know, I don't have that yet. I'm still thinking about if I want to do that or not. I did change out the grip from the standard A2 one. This is an Ergo Sure grip. This is the non-ambidextrous version with the soft overmold grip on it. Very comfortable. Highly recommend this one. A lot of people like the Magpul ones. I've held those. Those are a little bit more swollen. They kind of fit your hand better, I would say. But this one's more textured and gives you a good positive traction, and if you really are looking for that kind of thing. But it's really comfortable in the hand, and when you sweat, it really gives you a non-slip grip when the palm of your hands perspire. So yeah, it's a pretty good grip. I mean, this back part right here really fills in the back webbing of your hand, which makes it really comfortable. Now to the we'll just go ahead and move on to the scope here. This is a Nikon 3-9x40 BDC long range, what they call long range rifle. This has the bullet drop compensator in it. This is the Monarch version. This is not just any standard Nikon. I specifically went for the Monarch because I wanted something that was going to handle the recoil of this rifle, and I didn't want to spend a little bit of money when I went purchasing a scope and then realize it's not going to work, and then spend more money doing it and over and over and over. So I went out and just did it right the first time, which I highly recommend. I don't recommend you to buy a cheaper scope and think you can get away with it unless you really keep your guns in the safe and they're safe queens. Then I guess it could work. But if you're actually going to use it, you know, even use it more than a couple times a year, you'll notice the cheap scopes do not last as long as the quality ones. But the Monarch line is really well made, and there's a lot of people out there that really like their products, and I fell in love with it, and this is probably the company I'll go with when I want to buy another scope for another rifle. The mount here is an M223 mount. This is probably one of the best mounts for the AR platform. Some people recommend going up with a different one. I think maybe a Burris, or I don't remember exactly what are the other ones, but the other ones, the other types of mounts for the ARs, or even actually for any rifle that uses a rail that they want to mount a scope to, they have more than one screw here clamping the scope itself to the rifle, to the mount. So they recommend to use the ones that have more than one. And when I say they, I'm talking about on forums and stuff. A lot of people say to do that. So that's probably something you want to look into if you're looking at getting a scope or whatnot. For me, the setup's really good. The mount itself is not the angled mount. There's one, I think it has like 20 degrees, that's for long range shooting. This is the flat one. It doesn't have any kind of incline on it or anything like that. I went over the power, I think, right, 3 to 9, and the objective is 40. Got the BDC compensator, which is really helpful. You don't have to really adjust the knobs on the outside. It tells you basically each one should be about 100 yards apart, but that depends on the load. So that's that. I mean, you got the Butler Creek caps here, and you know, they're alright, but that's the only option you have if you want to put scope covers on it, on your rifle. Got the standard handguard here that I came with when I bought it, the Free Float DPMS. It's probably DPMS, that's what it looks like to me. I still haven't put in the sling swivel stud here. Actually, I want to put in a Picatinny rail here for my bipod. Haven't done it yet because I'm afraid I'm going to not get it centerized. I gotta find a friend that will let me put it on their drill press. Moving on along here, we got the front forward mount sling here, which is that Magpul side sling. And the reason why I have it up here like this is because I'm using an HK sling that I got on my PTR, and I love that sling. And so what I did was basically did the same thing that the HKs have, is have the sling mount coming out to one side, and just using an HK latch style sling to hook it up, and I really like it. It just hooks up here and then to the back of the buttstock over here on this side or the other side, and I can carry it just like my HK, and I really like that. And then here, of course, we got the ridiculous Recoil Eliminator from JP Enterprise. Very, very effective. At 300 yards, very little shake, and I can still keep my eyes on the target, and my crosshairs move maybe like 4 or 5 inches at 300 yards. You know, like I just move slightly off of my point of aim. I don't move off my target, and I shoot out to 12-inch steel plate, and the muzzle brake helps out a lot. Overall, the rifle has been great. Never really had any big problems aside from one thing. Well, let's get into the trigger, because I purposely skipped over the trigger. I want to go over that right now. Actually, I did replace the trigger. This is a JP fire control kit in here. It's the standard one with the adjustable over travel and under travel. If you kind of know what you're doing, that's probably the trigger to go for. It gives you a really nice, clean, short pull, and instead of having a 2-stage trigger when you need to shoot like steel case ammo like I do. A lot of the time I shoot steel case around 50 to 100 yards, so I don't need to buy really expensive ammo, domestic ammo. I can buy the cheap stuff and shoot it. So you really want something that's a single stage style trigger. They have a newer model also available that doesn't have, I think, one of the adjustabilities. For more information on that, I did a specific video talking about the trigger and whatnot. I did do a specific video on the muzzle brake, and I did a specific video on the scope as well. So if you guys want to find information on those, make sure you visit the channel and type in AR15, or just type in the product that you're looking for, you know, and they'll come up in my video search. So because I don't want to really go into it entirely, make the video too long. But let's get on to the one mishap I had with this rifle. In 1,000 rounds, I haven't had any major issues. Well, actually, sorry, I've had one major issue. I haven't had reoccurring issues. The only issue that you have every once in a while is usually because of the magazines, and I use 6.5, 6.8 SPC magazines, 6.8 SPC, 6.5 Grendel magazines, just because I like the straighter magazines and they're shorter, more compact. And I also like the look of the standard AR style 30 round, quote unquote 30 round, because I have 10-30, they're blocked to 10 rounds, 30 round magazines, and those are also 6.8, 6.5. And since they're not specifically made for that caliber, one of them kind of has an issue. Well, actually it's in the 20 rounder that every once in a while you can get a double feed, and it's very, very rare that it happens, but it does happen. I'd say in 100 rounds, maybe one malfunction. That's how rare it is. It's not common at all. The major issue now, let's go ahead and get to it. The bolt broke on my rifle. The bolt lugs, actually, number 1 and number 7 both broke, and number 1 and number 7 are basically on either side of the extractor. Both sides broke. Don't know why they broke. I have no idea, but it broke basically when I was getting to just over 1,000 rounds, but like 20 rounds over 1,000 rounds, and so it broke. So what I did was I bought a replacement from AR Performance, and I bought a super bolt. It was $120 just for the bolt. So let's go ahead and crack this open and we'll take a look at it. I'm actually going to do a specific video talking about the bolt. I just want to, you know, bring it up to you guys so you guys can see and I can tell you what happened. But I'll have a specific video on the bolt. I just want to kind of tell you what I did. I just replaced the bolt, and that was it. It was $120. I replaced it. And then I also had my bolt warranted. Model 1 Sales they did replace it. They did well on their part. They had me send it in. I sent it in. They looked at it and they determined that it probably was a faulty part because it's not supposed to break within 1,000 rounds. and so they replaced it. So long story short, they replaced it. Like I said, I'll do a specific video on that, and you can check the description for that, because I think that's an important video. But I had to bring that up to you guys and let you know that the bolt did break. Of course, I don't know where the bolt is made, where it comes from, what company it is, which is probably why it broke. But we'll get into that in the other video. So that's the only other upgrade I got in here is the AR Super Bolt, and I've had like 300 or 400 rounds in it ever since. Haven't had a problem with it. It works pretty well. So overall, I would say the rifle is pretty good. Would I recommend it? Yes, for ammunition cost, although the way things are going now, the ammunition costs are a little bit different. They're kind of getting next to each other, 223 and 7.62 by 39, but when I got it, it was cheaper to buy 7.62 by 39. So would I recommend it? Yeah, I'd still recommend it, especially if you want something with a little bit more punch, a little bit more impact, but more importantly, if you own an AK, if you own a Mini 30, if you own a SKS, if you own a VZ58, if you own another rifle in 7.62 by 39, and you don't want to venture out and buy that 223, buy that 5.56, what you can do is consolidate your caliber by buying this rifle in that caliber, and then you just buy a couple thousand rounds of one caliber, and you don't have to worry about buying ammunition from two different sources if prices are different. Just buy one kind of ammunition, and both rifles will shoot both the same kind of ammunition. And also, if you're wondering, yeah, I do shoot through corrosive through this every once in a while. I try not to because the muzzle brake, I don't want to clean it out, so it doesn't have a problem feeding corrosive. And most of the 1,000 rounds that I shot were steel case. But that's it for the video. I also have a video showing the accuracy of it. It got about 1 MOA with the Winchester white box, and I'm planning on doing a series of videos showing 7.62 by 39 accuracy. So watch out for those. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I do answer all the questions. Alright guys, be it Mert, signing out.